Kumite Radio, back. George is back from America. And George, tell me about what happened in America.
Well, I flew. Well, actually, the first night on, I believe, Monday night. Um, I I believe it was Monday. Yeah, I think it was Monday night. Went to the airport, got there. They told me the flight had already left. My flight was supposed to be at like 3:15 in the morning. Um, I got there at like 12. And I was like, what do you mean it left? The flight's at 3:15. And then they said, oh, well, the runway is shut down after 12 o'clock. So we emailed everyone that the flight was leaving earlier. So it was like myself and like 12 other people that didn't get emails. So I stayed at a hotel. Then I came back home for the day. And then I left again that night. Flew there, got there. When I got there, my girl Mallory had some inflammation in her arm. Took her to the doctor. She had cellulitis and an infection in her arm. But she was okay. Like, it wasn't too swollen. She could still fight. Next day, cut a little bit of weight. She was still okay. Friday morning, woke up to cut weight. And when I heard the scale go off in the room, because we had like a big suite, I was like, hey, what's your weight? And it was like dark out, and or dark inside of the room still. And she was like, told me her weight. And then I could tell something was wrong with her voice. And then when I looked at her arm with the lights on, because she said she had been up since like 2 a.m. and her arm was hurting, I looked at it, and I was just like, you're not fighting. So I took her back to the hospital, and they admitted her, and she was in there for like 2 days. So she had her elbow was like this huge, bro. It was like so big. And her arm from like her shoulder down all the way almost to her fingers were swollen. And they like lanced the thing that was on her arm, the infection, and drained a bunch of stuff out of it and cleaned it. They had her on like really strong drugs for the infection. And then she's out. She said the swelling's going down in all of her arm except for her elbow. So she's still in the U.S. She'll be back in a week and a half. But yeah, it was just a big bummer for her, you know. It was her second fight in Invicta. First one she lost. I thought she won. It was really close. This fight, I think she would have finished the girl. So it's a big bummer, but you know, it's like I told her, things happen, and you know, we have to take care of your health first and foremost. So you'll be back at it soon enough. So she'll be good. She's in good spirits.
How common is, cellulitis is another word for staph infection, basically, right?
No, cellulitis. I don't quote me on this, but I think she got cellulitis from the staph infection. Because I had before in my leg in college when I was wrestling, my bursa sac exploded and the doctor drained it and it got infected and my leg turned completely red. And they were like, oh, you have cellulitis, but we have to run a culture on it, which is what they did for her. Hers came back as staph. When I had it in college, it came back as MRSA, and it was in my inside of my knee joint. So they had to scope my knee. So I think cellulitis is like, it's in it, I don't know, infection or the swelling or something like that. But it's caused from something.
How common is that though?
Well, staph infection is pretty common, especially with obviously with MMA, but jiu-jitsu, wrestling. Like I had staph infection in college wrestling probably 4 or 5 times.
Fuck, man. Like,
yeah.
In Korea, you never barely ever see anybody with staph infection or cellulitis.
I think that like I said, I had it 4 or 5 times in college. I had a lot of teammates who got it. Like any like sport on the mat is like a dirty, not like a dirty sport, but like you have to take proper precautions, you know, because of the people you come encounter with and the stuff that grows like with the bacteria and stuff on the mat. But in Thailand, you know, at all the gyms, I think it's more prevalent here than it is in the States or Korea per se, because of the temperature and the humidity. Like the climate is much different. So I think you're much more susceptible to get it out here.
So the conditions are perfect for bacteria to grow quickly and spread easily amongst like individuals that are training with each other. And it's hard to keep the mats, you know, dry when everybody's sweating up a storm, right? Because it's so fucking
Right.
hot, right?
Oh
So,
yeah, for sure.
because of course I was there, man. Like when I was rolling jujitsu down there with you, with a lot of the guys, it was so hot that like you could only spar for so long, and then you got to take a break. It's just,
Yeah.
and you're sweating up a storm. You got to drink like 10 gallons of water every day, or
Yeah.
you're
Man,
gonna
it's no
faint.
joke. Like the humidity and stuff, like the temperature here, the climate is like, it's hot and then the humidity is even worse. Like it takes a long, like when I was back last week in Missouri, man, it was hot. But you know what? I wasn't even sweating like I would be in Thailand, like walking around or whatever. I was walking around and I was hot, but I wasn't sweating. It was just a real dry heat. But here is like, man, it's like a muggy heat.
How was it going back to the States? You haven't been there for a few years. You know, you've been in Thailand where it's mostly Thai, Asian people everywhere, and you go back to the States and it's just a mixture of, all kinds of colors and
It was
like,
a culture shock.
was it?
Yeah, it was the first time I've been back to the U.S. in over 3 years. It's almost 3.5 years. Um, and man, like going through immigration, I was like, I hope, like, I don't know. I was like freaking myself out. I knew I hadn't done anything wrong or anything like that. But then, like, got through immigration and I was like in the car driving. And it was just like really, really, really strange. And then, like, while I was there, I had a bunch of different beers that I used to like, which was cool. Um, had some food that I haven't had in a while. But it was just really, really weird the whole time I was there. And then when I like went to the airport to come back, I was checking my bags outside. The guy was like, "Oh, we can't print your ticket." And I was like, "Well, why? What do you mean?" And he was like, and I was like starting to get nervous. And he's like, "Oh, well, because you don't have a return flight." And I was like, "Well, I don't need a return flight." And he was like, "So you have a work permit or a visa?" And I was like, "Yes, I have a work permit." So then he was like, "Well, you got to go inside." So then I had to wait in this long line, and like then the lady finally like helped me, and she was like really sweet. So it didn't take long, but I like had to look back through all my information on my phone and like take photos of my work permit and stuff just in case, which I didn't need. But uh, I've had like since I've lived here, I've had probably like 4 dreams that I went back to America and I got stuck there like working on the car lot again selling cars. They were like nightmares, bro. And that was like I was like, oh shit, is it really gonna come true? So
Yeah, that is a nightmare, huh? Living in
yeah.
paradise and you go back and now you're on the concrete jungle.
Yeah, it'd be awful.
Yeah. Um, Last weekend was pretty busy in Asia, right? We had Road FC 40, the first round or the opening round of the $1 million tournament happened.
Yeah.
There was some action in Japan. There was Deep Cage Impact 2017. They had 3 title fights in that one. Heat 40 in Japan also happened. They had 4 or 5 title fights on that one. Let me just break down some of the results. In Heat 40, 4 fighters from Team Mad, Stun Gun's team,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
their 4 fighters went over there to fight for 4 titles. Think of that. 4
That's
fighters
insane.
tied for 4. They fought for 4 titles,
Who do
and
they got manage them?
they have their own management. They have their
Oh,
own manager for their team and everything separate.
he's doing a good job.
Yeah, and 3 of those guys went back with belts.
That's crazy.
It is crazy, man. Like they did a damn good job preparing themselves to go over there in enemy territory, fight Japanese dudes and beat them, and go back with some nice shining belts. Because he has some nice shiny belts. So,
I think Koreans are the toughest out of all the Asians, man. For
that's what I
MMA.
keep hearing. That's what I keep hearing.
For MMA, that's I think that I truly believe that. I think that the Japanese are like the most skilled, but I think the Koreans are the toughest.
But I think the Koreans are like they're putting it together now to where their toughness and their skills are
Right.
leveling out to where
Yeah.
now the Japanese fighters are having a hard time beating the Korean fighters. And if you see in like Road and like even in Deep or Heat, when Korean fighters fight Japanese fighters, most of the time the Korean fighters end up winning the fight. So it
So
shows like,
John, how does that make you feel?
to me it's like, it's whatever, I mean, it's just it's
Come
all
on,
good,
bro. You know you're happy.
I don't know, man. Like, of course of course you want your peoples to win and everything, but to me it's long as they have a fair, fair what is it, set of rules, and no one's like there's no fuckery and they win fair and square. That's all that matters to me, right? Nobody's cheating and shit like that. But yeah, props to Team Mad, man. They went in there and they got 3 belts
Oh, for
and
sure.
in heat, man.
That's pretty incredible, man. Like a team with 4 guys competing for belts and 3 of them winning. That's a testament to their team.
Yeah, and the guy that actually lost, he was he's a flyweight, and he got submitted by the Japanese dude, and he was actually the road flyweight champion before, and he's the one who was most experienced, had the most hardware out of all the 4 guys, and he lost his fight. But the
Oh,
other guys
wow.
went in there and smashed. And one dude, the welterweight, his name is like Songwon Son, right? He won his fight in 12 seconds,
Oh,
knockout,
wow. How
like ground and pound. Just he caught
took
him.
him down and just grounded him out?
No, he caught him, dropped, and then he pounded him out after that.
Wow.
Just real quick. I think he was shocked that
You're gonna love that. I bet it. Yeah, he was probably shocked, but extremely happy because
Yeah.
like you get out of the cage that fast, man.
That's like, and then you go back to your country, and show people like, hey, Korea and Japan has that little backstory of, history and shit like
the
that.
rising sun or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the rising sun for sure. That one
Yeah.
is like, it's the war flag for Japan. So
Yeah, I know. I remember being like, I had a Korean friend one time, and when he's like Korean adopted American, but I remember being like, yo, what's the deal with this? Like, I remember when the zombie said something about Saint Pierre carrying that flag out or whatever. And I was like, what's this guy like? Because he didn't know who they were. So I was like telling him the story, and I was like, why is he so angry about it? And then he like told me the history, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, it's almost like a lot of people compare it to the swastika. Like that flag is kind of like the swastika, right? Of, Japan or whatever. Because that's not their actual flag. Their actual flag is that, the flag that you normally see during the Olympics. You don't see the war flag during the Olympics, right? The rising sun. So, yeah, a lot of people don't like that flag too much. But, it is what it is. It's not like they floss it, It's not like Japanese fighters are like carrying that fucking war flag, like to the rig and shit. If they did that, yeah, there would be some bullshit, some shit popping off. But in Deep that same night, Rocky Martinez, he won. He
The
fought
belt.
Jai Deep Singh, who was actually on the podcast a couple podcasts earlier. He went in and won the Megaton title. So props to Rocky Martinez. He's been fighting for a long time in this area, and he did his thing. There was a featherweight title fight, and this dude soccer kicked the dude and knocked him out, dude, like bad. Soccer kick, like boom, like punted his face.
Yeah.
And
Deep.
destroyed him and won that strap like that.
Deep rules.
Yeah, deep rules. Like
who was it?
The Japanese dude's name. Let me look it up.
Because I fought for them before.
He's kind
I
of
fought
like
I fought the guy in Deep Nagakure. He's fighting in Rebel coming up.
Oh, is he fighting in the tournament?
I'm not sure. I didn't even know that Rebel was having a tournament.
Yeah, Rebel's having some welterweight tournament.
No, he's not welterweight. He's fighting for the vacant or not vacant. He's fighting for even Rebel's doing this now. What the interim featherweight title? Because I lost to Kleber in that, and I lost to Nagakura, but I really beat him in Japan and Deep, and they screwed me.
His name is Hiroto Usako.
Oh yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, he fought in Road too, Hiroto Usako. He fought in Road. In the last Road, he knocked out this Taekwondo dude. And in the main event, the welterweight tournament final happened for the welterweight belt. And Ken Hasegawa, he lost, but he didn't lose. It says that he lost in like all the sites. If you go to the results, like he lost by TKO, but actually he did not lose by TKO. They haven't decided what the result is yet because they clashed heads, so it was like a headbutt, and then he kind of went out. So
And the
they're
other guy just like got up or what?
yeah, the other guy just he won. So that's what they thought, but then they later saw that he got headbutt. So have you ever seen that before? Like, dude,
No, but
headbutt
I feel
somebody,
like it
knock
should be a
somebody out?
no contest.
Exactly, but like all these sites, they putting up the result as a TKO win for the other guy,
Yeah,
which
that sucks.
yeah, it sucks for him, man, because he actually posted something about like, hey, you guys like Tapology and all, like Sherdog and shit like that. You guys need to take that down because the result hasn't been official yet. So
Right.
sucks for him. Now
So
going
what
to
about Sasaki
huh?
and Road Sasaki?
Oh, he got fucked up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, he got fucked up by the Mongolian dude. Like that Mongolian dude's name is so fucking long. This is just like it's hard to say his name, but that Mongolian dude, man, he came out of nowhere too. And
He's the Mongolian that speaks Korean, right?
no, that's a different Mongolian guy.
Okay,
This
okay.
Mongolian dude won the China trials, and he came in, and I liked his. If you watch the highlight, right, of his knockout,
Who is this guy?
he won the China trials, and he
Can you
just
pull
has
up his shirt, dog?
he here, I'll show you. He has
Because man, there's not a lot of guys from China that are like real good that like I don't know who they are, you know?
here he is. Look at his name.
Kukenku Amarat Savashin. I don't even know.
Yeah,
Whoa. He's not. He's 6-3.
yeah.
I've seen
And
this guy before. Hold on,
he
go back
fought
down.
in Legend.
Hold on. Yeah. All right, go down now.
Oh, he knocked out
Hell,
Ho Tin Woo.
yeah, he beat Wu Helton. I
Yeah,
fought him. I beat him on a decision.
yeah,
And shout outs to my man Tatsuya Mata just beat him too.
yeah.
Yo,
So
so
this
dude's got. So what are his losses? Decision.
decisions, and
Oh,
he got
okay.
knocked out in his first fight in Legend.
Kenny Young. I don't even know what country that is.
Oh, that's Hong Kong,
Oh, okay, sorry.
I think.
Yo, so this guy's man.
This dude got power, man. Legit power. Like he did like that little like fake right hook and then just came back right with the same right hand and just boom on the chin, perfect. And destroyed dude, man. Like bad. Like the
Yeah, I
doctors
saw the
came in.
video, bro. I saw the video. It was ruthless.
The doctors came in. Some other
Shout outs to
results.
him though.
Yeah. Um Man, Tom Santos. Did you see that one? The
No,
fastest knockout.
I didn't see that one.
He, he knocked him out in 7 seconds. Namichur. They like this dude is like the dark horse for real. Tom Santos. He came in, nobody knew who he was, beat Namichur like before, and then they gave Namichur the rematch because that's what Road does, and he came in and knocked him out in 7 seconds in the second fight.
What did he hit him with?
Oh, right hand, just right hand.
Hey, where's
Dropped
he
him.
from?
Brazil. And now he's fighting in the next round. He's fighting the other only Brazilian dude in the tournament, which is Hanis Torres from Nova Niñao. But they picked it. It's not like they just selected like who's fighting each other. Once it was over, after the fights were over, they did a ceremony and they pulled out like the numbers, like the lottery,
Shit.
and then they just ended up being picked against each other.
You know them dudes are not happy.
And also, Khabib's cousin, he won. Shamil Zavarov.
Yeah.
the Chinese dude beat the Filipino cat. Mansour, Mansour, man, he's like
Hey, he
one of the
trained at
main guys.
Tiger before, bro. He's not a great stand up, but that dude on the ground's good.
Yeah, he's been choking everybody, man. Like last two fights, he just choked the shit out of everybody. And the dude Nandine Erdine, the one that you were talking about, the Mongolian Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Like he fucked up the other dude, and the other dude, he's fought in Bellator. He fought Primus, the one that's the champion right now,
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
lost a split decision to him. Like this,
They've got some good guys in there, man.
yeah, they do. But this,
Hey, don't they have now like guys that are in like where they can get pulled back in, right?
yeah, they have reserve fights. So Bruno's in the next road. Bruno will be one of the guys fighting for a reserve spot. So if in the next round somebody has to get pulled or they get injured, then Bruno, if he wins, he can slide back into the tournament.
Nice. How great would that be?
That's great for him. But they also have two other guys that fought on this road that won. And those
Yeah.
dudes are waiting in the line too, waiting in line to fill
Bro,
in.
I'd be so happy if Bruno got pulled back in because he's capable of winning that. He could beat anybody. Like if he touches anybody, he can knock them out. Also,
Exactly.
that dude from Phuket top team, Raphael, that dude's a beast too.
Yeah, but man, there's so many guys that.
That's a good man. That's a big, good tournament.
Yeah, it is. Like Road did a good job, like picking these guys, even though a lot of people don't know who they are. Like putting these fights on YouTube live around the world,
Right.
and people get a chance to see these new fighters, man, and man, they put on a show for real, like
Yeah.
legit knockouts. And to me,
It's been crazy.
I'm rooting for Nandine Erdine, man. Like I want that dude to just go in there and knock everybody out. But there's some beasts in here, man. Like there's like straight knockout artists. There's ground guys.
You think whoever gets to the finals beats Asol?
Yeah,
What a
I think.
gangster name he's got though, Asol.
Yeah, asshole. Like it's almost like his name is asshole.
How do you say it in Korean?
Asshole.
Asshole.
Yeah, yeah. So it sounds like asshole.
Shibaseke.
Yeah, for real. And yeah, that's his nickname too. But but yeah. Other than the tournament, which was sick as fuck, man. I was there live, and man, it was awesome. Like having so many fights in one night of just tournament fights where every fight is worth something. Of course, every
Right.
fight's worth something, but this fight is
but
like
something like
$1
that.
million, dude.
Yeah. They're banging it out.
Yeah, $1 million, and it's just like awesome to see these guys. And what sucks is like all the Korean guys are gone. Like
Yeah.
it's a Korean promotion.
Asshole is not though.
Yeah, Azo is not. He's talking get mad shit to everybody.
Yo, what a ledge.
Yeah, he is. Ed, you see him in the press conference talking shit to Khabib?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Khabib was there cornering his cousin.
Yo, he should slow down talking shit to Khabib.
Yeah, but you know what he's trying to do though.
Hey, go for him. Do your thing,
Yeah.
asshole.
Because he was talking about nobody knows who the fuck Khabib is. That's what he was saying. He's like, nobody knows Khabib. Who the fuck is Khabib? Like everybody knows me in China. Like, cause Road is like it's on Chinese television. He's like, man, fucking 1.4 billion people know who I am. Nobody knows who the fuck Khabib is. And then they go to Khabib, and Khabib's like, I don't know what you're talking. Like, I am the number one contender in the lightweight UFC. I don't know. I don't know who you. I don't know you. Like that's what he was saying to him, and I was just like, but that's the truth, though. Like Azor, nobody really knows who he is except for around here, and Khabib is known everywhere. Like they know who the fuck he is, right? So, but like you said, shout out to Azor picking the right fights, picking the right arguments to have, because that's what you need to do. And you know who's coming up next? What I heard is who's coming to Korea next?
Who?
Jose Aldo.
To fight?
To corner. To corner Hanis Torres, because they've been training partners for a long time.
The one coming up next month?
No, the next round of the tournament.
Not the one on the 12th or 13th?
No.
Okay.
No, not that one. The one after that.
All
So
right.
you know,
Maybe you should fly me out there, bro.
yeah, we get the sponsors to fly you out
Yeah, fly me out and we'll do a live Kumite radio inside.
inside the arena for
Yeah,
sure.
bro. It'll
For
be
sure.
like Snoop Dogg and Uriah.
For real. Hey, you been watching Snoop Dogg?
Now, I've seen the highlights, but I'm going to go back and watch the fights.
Hey, today it was so funny, man. Like he was like the rear naked. He got him naked. Like he was going off, man. Like I love it. I wish he would do the UFCs, like the big
Shout
ones.
outs to my manager, Danny Rube. His boy won today. I don't know if he's,
O'Malley.
yeah, O'Malley. How
Yeah,
you,
that sick ass knockout.
where's he from?
I think he's like Irish or some shit, isn't he? O'Malley?
Yeah, well, it's definitely Irish, but he lives in America, I'm
I
assuming.
think he's from like Montana or one of those like white towns, white cities or white states or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was a sick ass knockout. Just like
Bro, it was
who's
just like,
even yeah.
boom. It
It
was
was
like
like
a delayed, like, I think it was a right hand, but it was like delayed.
effortless knockout, basically. Like
What
he
a
already
leg.
knew that he was gonna knock him out. But before
Did
he
he,
knocked him out, he was doing some crazy shit though, like flying knees and shit.
hey, did
So
he get a contract?
he's the only one that got a contract, I think.
Good for him.
But because there was a bunch of knockouts, but it was weird. They only gave one contract. It's fucked up. They should give contracts to more people. Cause the other dude, Tan Lee, he head kick knocked out a dude, and he didn't even get a contract for that.
Hey, where's he from?
I don't know, Vietnam or something.
They flew him from Vietnam?
No, but he's like American, but he's like
Oh.
Vietnamese American.
Yeah, I heard some like inside stuff about that show. Like
They have
imagine
like
if
yeah,
bro, imagine if they just gave contracts to like a bunch of people all the time. It'd get watered down.
it would get watered down. But
But
then
it's
they should
good.
then
Like,
they
hey,
should just limit
no,
and tell them like only one contract's gonna happen for this show, every show.
right. But they should keep it up, bro. Like if the UFC can keep paying that, but they make 5 and 5.
That's not bad.
No, that's great. That's
Yeah.
more than any other show in America. Like LFA, RFA, those dudes aren't making near that. They're probably like I probably getting paid more than them, and like other guys in Asia get paid more than them. Like the guys that are even fighting for the titles. Like it's just the money in the US is not good. That's what's up with Asia and the Middle East. Shout outs to this side of the world for paying fighters.
Man, dude, like that $1 million, whoever wins that $1 million in this tournament, that's gonna fucking change their life. For real, change their life. It's not even like a tough contract. That's like tough contract's 100,000. This is fucking $1 million.
Yeah, that's like 100,000 over like how long?
Like 2 years, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And these guys are gonna get a $1 million. Think of some of these guys that live in like Brazil, like the Brazilian dudes. Like you
You
get 1 million.
brother, it takes you and your family out of the favela.
Yeah, like out of the country, basically.
Yeah, go wherever you want. You're out of the favela.
Damn, man. Even the dudes in
Crazy.
Russia, like the Chinese dudes,
Yeah,
man.
it's a
Like
game changer, man. It's
it
a game
changes your whole
changer.
fucking life. It changes fucking anybody's life, basically. If you're not
Hey,
making $1 million a year
shout outs to the Road FC owner and his
uh,
white Bentley.
in his white Billy, in his white suit,
Yeah, I think next time I go there, bro, I'm gonna holler at him and get some words in with him. I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna talk to him.
you might have to get a translator.
Probably, but that's why I got you.
Uh,
B,
that's
next time I come to Korea, I'm set.
you gonna ride in the Bentley?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, hey, I'm gonna have you translate to him. I want to ride in the Bentley. Actually, I want to drive the Bentley.
For sure, huh? He always drives his Bentley, but I know he got other cars. He's got to have other cars.
Of course he does. He smiled at me last time. He probably don't know who I am, but he smiled at me.
Yeah, and he doesn't smile
Yeah,
at all. If you see him, he doesn't smile at all.
he gave me a cheeky smile.
But yeah, this tournament, man, like people,
It's crazy, bro.
if you're sleeping, if people are not watching this shit, you guys are missing out. It's like Dana White Contender Series, but like times 1,000, man. It's fucking crazy. Like they're getting paid, but like I said, all the Koreans is gone, so they're kind of mad. And
And
then
they only got asshole now.
Azor is just fucking sitting there talking shit to everybody. And
What a ledge.
he said that did you guys after the fights when they were picking the numbers, he said, did you guys enjoy the circus show today?
What a
bunch of
ledge.
clouds and shit. That's what he said for real. I wish he would speak English, dude. For real. Like I want to
Is it,
get him and like teach him English so he could start talking shit to these people in English.
can we have him on the show?
We could, but then we gotta have someone translate everything. But
Nah,
that
I
would
saw,
suck.
bro. That's what you could do both, and I could just like give him some shit.
No, because that would just be fucking terrible to listen to. But I'm thinking about getting him. If we could get him on the show, I'm thinking about getting somebody to come with him next to him, sitting next to him.
That
And
would be great.
yeah, and then we could just like do that,
Because I could
or
just be like, okay, so asshole, what do you think about this?
yeah, and he'll just talk. He'll just say whatever he want to say. He don't give a fuck.
I like him though because he chat shit, especially
Yeah,
to Khabib. Like, what a ledge.
he doesn't. He's not the typical like Korean respectful like dude. Like he's respectful, but if you ask him something, he's gonna tell you like how he really feels. So that's
So he doesn't save face.
nah. He don't care about that. He's always been like that though. He's like always on the edge of like, hey, you remember the dude that was training with you guys?
Who? Shibaseki?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. How could I
He
forget
has a
him?
long history with Azor, dude. Like they used
He,
to be enemies, like hardcore enemies, long
yeah,
time.
no, he told me, bro. He was telling me all up. Well, in his broken English, like, and I think his English got better when he was here. But I said something after you mentioned to me about him, and I was like, "Hey, what?" I didn't know it was Ashhole at the time, so I said, "Hey, Asol," and he's like, "What?" And then once he realized what I was saying, he's like, "I mean, win, no problem. I win, sure, no problem." What
Yeah,
a
he
ledge!
he want to go fight him, man. But there's videos of them just like going at each other, like in the older promotions when Azhar was younger, and he's always been like that. He always been like talking shit. So I'm glad he's out there and they're giving him, time to time to shine or whatever before the shit hits the fan. Because
Yeah.
it's him sitting on the sidelines and not fighting and doing nothing is not a good thing for him, man.
How long's it been since he fought?
Fuck, last year, probably the end of last year, or maybe in
So
the
like,
middle of last year.
wow. So it's been a long time, 7,
Yeah,
8, 9 months, if
yeah,
not more.
yeah, and that's not good for somebody that is
No,
gonna end up fighting for $1 million. And these dudes been fighting and just training and scrapping.
scrapping it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good for him, but we'll see what happens. Who knows, man? He's been known to pull shit out his ass. All right, let's move on to UFC Fight Night 113, the one that was in Sweden. And did you see the eye pokes?
No, I haven't seen anything, brother. You forget I was on a plane.
But you haven't seen the eye pokes like Gunnar Nelson, like he's trying to
I,
appeal.
I saw a photo. Yeah, I saw him trying to appeal, and I saw a photo, and it did look kind of bad. But
Yeah, there was about like 5 eye pokes that happened during the fight, which was very short fight. But hey, Ponzinibbio, that fool murked him, dude. Like,
hey, he's good, man.
yeah, he's good, man. He murked
That's
him,
the
man.
guy Nordine. Not his last fight, but the one before that, I believe, is the one Nordine lost to.
Yeah, and he didn't get knocked out like that.
No,
Nordine
like it
wasn't.
was a close fight.
Yeah,
That guy's good though.
yeah, he's good. He got sick power, man, for a welterweight.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a headhunter. And what do you think? Like, do you think a fighter should like appeal fights? Do you think because that's starting to happen more and more often nowadays? Like fighters going to appeal shit, and I don't think it ever helps. Does it?
Yeah. I don't think it helps. Like, I don't think those decisions get overturned and whatnot. I think they should have like instant replay though.
Yeah, but the thing is, after you've been knocked out, instant replay doesn't mean anything, though, right?
I'm not. I don't mean about like obviously getting knocked out, but I mean like stuff like think about Weidman and Musashi,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
stuff like that. Like, I think there should be like where they can review it on the camera because at the end of the day, like it's not a street fight; it's a sanctioned fight. So, and it's not like in MMA, it's sometimes you have those things that just happen, and it's just like, oh well, like you said you needed a timeout. The guy be like, oh, like timeout, and like doesn't think clearly, and then the fight's over. Like that's how it is. It's not like other shit. So I think that for stuff like the knees on the ground, like with Weidman and whatnot
Mhm.
on that fight, him and Musasi, like there should be an instant replay for that, and then some other, instant replays for other situations and whatnot. But I think if a knockout, obviously you're not gonna have a replay because you're not just gonna wait the guy and be like, oh, by the way, what he did wasn't right, so we're gonna run this back and then let you get hit in the fucking head again. Obviously, for stuff like that, no.
Gunnar Nelson said, like, after the fight, he said, like, he got poked in the eye, but he decided not to, like, step back, and he just moved forward. And he said
Kind of his fault then.
Yeah, he just said that was his mistake that he made. And, like, okay, you got poked in the eye. You made a mistake. You got knocked out. Do you just move on? Or do you, like, would you appeal that shit? Like, to me, I think you should just move on, man. Like, it's over.
Yeah, at that point, I would probably move on as well because, like, look, you got knocked out. Whether or not you got poked in the eye, and you said that you kept coming forward instead of backing up, so it's kind of your fault.
What do you think about the gloves? Do they need to change them?
No, I don't think so. In my opinion, no, because I've never been, like, me personally, I've never been poked in the eye in a fight. Of course, it can happen. And it does happen, and sometimes they're bad, like bad pokes. But I don't think that like, what are you gonna do? Put something like over the fingers or something? Like some like little, like, have the gloves and then like something over top of your finger. Like, for me, I can't think of like what they would do. So I think, in my opinion, the gloves are okay.
You'd have those like little condoms and shit on your fingers.
Right? Yeah, it's like some little, like, just piece of leather, like, taped on the end of your finger.
What about the Pride gloves? They're always talking about the Pride gloves was so much better.
Here, let me look at it real quick because I forgot what they look like.
They kind of have a curved end, like it curved over the fingers.
Yeah, I think I remember because when Kai had them, I was looking at them.
But yeah, like those eye pokes, man, that kind of sucks because it happens a lot. And I think if you get poked in the eye, you should probably just step back and kind of like.
You should and say, I got poked in the eye.
Yeah, because sometimes the ref can't see it, so you do gotta kind of step back and say, hey, there was a mistake, man. Like, hey, man, I got poked in the eye fucking in a jiu-jitsu tournament and popped 2 blood vessels and shit.
Hey, why are you so salty?
Because that's just fucked up, man. Because I could have continued.
They look like Ninja Turtle hands. But nah, I don't even think that's any better, bro.
Yeah. No, those are the Rising gloves. I'm talking about the Pride.
Yeah, I saw the Pride ones too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because look, the Pride ones are just like it. Like, they're very similar. Right?
Yeah. No, the Pride is a little bit different, man. They're kind of like shelled. They're like shelled over the fingers.
Like that?
Yeah, something like yeah. That's right.
Bro, that's an MMA training glove.
Yeah, but I think that the Pride.
Yeah, but I still like your fingers are still out, bro. I don't think so. In my opinion.
So there's no solution in your opinion. Like you gotta just keep your fingers, bent. Don't you think? What do you think? You think it should be bent, the fingers? What are the referee? Like the
Yeah, I think just regular, like, I think the UFC gloves are fine. The Bellator gloves are fine, man. Like, it's just one of those things. It's going to happen. Like, occasionally you're going to have eye pokes. Or maybe, like, if you open your hand, then it has to be, like, with your knuckles down or something like that. Like, but I don't think that I'm just, like, the rules are never going to be perfect. It's just like anything,
Well, the refs always say, like, make sure your fingers are up. If you have your hands extended out, make sure your fingers are up, or you make a fist.
Yeah.
But it's hard to, like, when the chaos is happening, like when there are people throwing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when everyone's throwing down, of course it's going to be hard, but it's just like anything. The rules are never perfect with anything, Like, people are always going to complain. And if I got poked in the eye really bad, I'm sure I would complain too in a fight. But at the end of the day, like, man, it is what it is. Like, it's part of it. Like, you want to fight in like 10-ounce gloves that are closed, like boxing gloves, okay, but no, you don't because of the grappling. So your fingers need to be out.
Yeah, to me, it's like it's the responsibility of the fighters to kind of, keep their hands from or keep their fingers from stretching out, and then the refs to kind of catch them if they're doing it, to warn them and say, hey man, you got to keep your
Right.
fingers,
Yeah,
bent
and
or up.
I think that's a great point. Like the ref should be more involved. Hey, you have to keep your fingers up, or hey, close your fist when you're doing this. So they should be more involved with it. But yeah, I don't think it's like it's just something that can't change.
For sure. Man, other than that, like that card was Paul Felder, he did his thing, and
Yeah, he's a beast.
Cynthia Calvillo from
Yeah,
Alpha Male, she did her thing, but overall that card was whack. Like it was terrible. Like the
well, I didn't
fights,
miss much then.
yeah, you
I
did
was in
not
the
miss
airport,
much.
like and it hadn't begun, and then I was in the next airport, and I was like trying to get to my flight, so I couldn't really like look at all the results and stuff. So, but obviously I didn't miss much.
Yeah,
But that Paul Felder guy, like I follow him a little bit. So he's at Duke Rufus's now, man. Dude's been looking sharp.
yeah, he did some sick ass shit. He fucked up Stevie Ray in his
I mean,
home.
he's been doing some sick shit for a while now, but I think he's just gotten better at since he's been at Duke Rufus's.
Yeah, I wonder why he has Korean writing tattooed on his forearm. I always wonder because I always see him and he has Korean writing tattooed on his forearm, but he's Irish.
I don't know. Maybe the same reason I got like Old English written on my ribs, or like,
Yeah, but you have like
or I have
you can
like,
read it.
yeah, but I got this one up here on my shoulder that's like Sanskrit or some shit like that. I don't remember. I just was in college and I was like, oh, this looks cool. Let me get this. But honestly, if it says I have no idea if it really says what I thought it said. So
And it's Sanskrit, so nobody really knows what it says.
yeah,
Because I don't think I've ever met anybody that knows how to read Sanskrit.
it's not Sanskrit. It's something else. It's like a font or something. I don't remember what it was.
Well, at least it's better than, having some Japanese shit that people can read and it says like asshole or something.
Yeah, or asshole.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, not much going on, this week. Did you see the Bellator fight, the Campos and Gertz?
Yes, I did. I
Oh,
made. I definitely watched that. What a cut! What a
what a
war!
what a fucking
What a
war.
scrap!
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
dudes were throwing down, man. That's like those are like the worst people you can fight because they just constantly just like it's a little bit of technique, but they're literally every punch and kick they throw is like they're just trying to completely like decapitate you.
Yeah. They're just throwing caution to the wind, and then if they lose, they lose. If they win, they win, and in this one, they
If
went for
they
2
if
rounds.
they die, they die.
That's right. That's fucking I think that should be like Kumite's fucking logo too. It's like their motto. Kumite Radio's motto is like, if they die, they die. Like,
I like it. It's Asia, baby.
yeah, fuck it. Mario Yamasaki. We'll probably never see him again in UFC, so it's all good.
Shout
Um,
outs to him.
yeah.
R.I.P.
This week we got this weekend. There's a lot of fucking cards happening, or this week coming up week. There's TFC 15 in Korea. There will be like 3 title fights on that shit. Top FC.
Yeah.
War Dog is happening in Tokyo on Sunday. Shudo on Sunday. Monday there's Angel fighting in Korea. The Korean dude that everybody always wonders where he's at. His name is Pe Myungbe Pe Myungho. I think that's his name. He fights for Team Mad. He's fighting for some title against a guy that has like 1 fight, and he's
For Angels?
Yeah, for Angels, it's kind of a weird thing, man. Like, I don't really
Yeah, I
like it
thought
too
that was
much.
like a bro. I thought that was like a woman's promotion when you said Angels,
Yeah, it's called Angels, and
because they
they're-
got like Muay Thai promotions here in Thailand that are like the Muay Thai Angels or this Angels or
yeah.
that like Diamonds, like shit like that.
Hey, also on Saturday, Matt Polino, Kumite Radio, guest. He's having his promotion in Penang. I
Yeah,
think it's in
I got a
Penang.
couple. Yeah, I got a
Golden.
couple guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got a couple guys fighting in that. I think Ali Matamed is fighting in it.
yeah.
I had one guy, Christoph. He had to pull out. Well, not because of like injuries, but because of like stuff on the other end. Anyways, like miscommunication. But I have two amateurs, Anvar Boynazarov, who fights for Glory and every other big promotion in Asia for kickboxing and Muay Thai. His little brother, we call him Noi. He's fighting amateur, and then one of their friends, and I can't remember how to pronounce his name. He's from Uzbekistan too. But yeah, so it's exciting times for that. Cool thing about Anvar's brother, literally learn how to speak English and fight Muay Thai in 10 months time.
Oh shit.
Like and beat good guys. Like couldn't speak English really. Could like a little bit, but not enough where like you could carry on a conversation with him. And he couldn't really fight. Like he had a little bit of like his brother, like Anvar was like, oh, he did combat sambo, but it was like not that great. But dude's a beast now. Like his stand up is good because he fought Muay Thai.
Nice. Yeah, that's Golden Warriors Fighting Championship in Malaysia. I think that's where it is. So you guys
Yes.
should
Yep.
probably
Yep.
check that shit
In
out. You
Penang.
gonna be there?
No.
No. All right, let's get some predictions down. UFC on Fox 25 is coming up this week. And let me see what we got here. Okay. We got
Am I betting like a smart better, or am I predicting as a who I want to win or who I think's gonna win?
you could predict whatever you want, man.
All right, I'll
Um
clarify on it.
all right, the first fight is Jimmy Rivera versus Thomas Alameda. Bantamweights.
I'm gonna go with Almeida just because I don't know Rivera that much.
Well, Rivera beat Uriah Faber in his last fight.
All right, maybe I'll go with that guy then.
All right, Gian Vellante, Weidman's training
Yeah,
partner,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
wrestler. I think he's a football player actually. Versus Patrick Cummings.
I'm gonna go with Cummins.
All right.
Who
Darren
who do you
Elkins.
got? Hold on, who do you got?
I got Rivera and I got Cummings.
All right, so Cummins, you agreed with me.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
agree
next
with
one.
you.
Bermudez. Shout outs to Bermudez. Shout outs to Bloomsburg Wrestling. It's my
What?
boy. We wrestled
So you're
together in
taking him
college.
against Elkins? He's fighting Darren Elkins.
Yeah, I know he is. And I
That's
know
it.
Elkins is tough and been beating the shit out of everybody, but Dennis is tough as shit, and
Yeah.
it's my boy from
Yeah, I got
college.
Bermudez winning this one too. I think Bermudez he has the style to beat Elkins.
Shout outs to you.
Yeah.
And shout outs to Bermudez because he always comes out like a bat out of hell. Bro, he fights the exact same way he used to wrestle in college. I could tell you so many stories about Bermudez, bro. So funny.
Yeah, we should probably get into that in the future.
I'll get him on the podcast. We'll get him on soon.
All right, for sure. And the main event, Weidman versus Gastelum.
Man, I want to say Wadman. Like every part of me wants to say him because he's so talented. But I'm gonna go with Wadman. But if Gastelum wins for some reason, I won't be surprised.
I
Think
think,
about Gastelum, bro.
yeah.
Thinking about Gastelum on the show, and then like he had so many good runs, and then he had like some shit runs where he didn't make weight, and he's just a fat fuck. But then he had some other good wins.
And
Like
he
think
was
about
just getting high and shit and like getting the
and
munchies.
think about him now. He's fighting Weidman. The guy won the Ultimate Fighter, and he's
At
still not even
welterweight.
that big. Yeah, at welterweight, and he's still not that big of a name.
That is crazy because he's kind of like what's his name? Whitaker.
Aso.
Because Whitaker was a welterweight, and now he's the interim champ.
Yeah, but he
35.
just went on a complete ass-kicking contest.
Yeah, that's true too. And I believe that I think Weidman's gonna win this one. The
I do
reason
too, bro.
why, the reason why is I think Weidman is much bigger and
Yeah, he's
stronger,
bigger.
and he's gonna
I just
bully
think
him a little. I could see him bullying him.
I think that too, but I think that he just possesses a lot more tools to win. I think he's just that much better of a fighter.
And
As I said, I think he's got the striking, he's got the wrestling, he's got the movement, the fakes, the feints. He's got much more than his opponent. However, I wouldn't be surprised if he won.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Weidman goes out there and tries to stand and like strike with him. I think that's a problem. That's gonna be a problem for Weidman.
Really?
Yeah, because I think that
Man,
Gastelum, he might not look great striking, but he outstrikes pretty much almost everybody that he's fought. If you
because
look
he's so
at it.
awkward.
Exactly. And he's fought a lot of strikers that are good wrestlers. And the strikers that are good wrestlers, they try to stand with Gastelum and then they get beat by him. But I think Weidman, he's a little bit smarter. He's going to go out there, he's going to strike a little bit, but he's going to look for those openings for those takedowns. And I think that he's strong enough to take him to the ground,
Yeah.
keep him there, and bully him a little bit. And that's what I feel. But like you said, man, fuck, Gastelum, he just wins, and you don't think he's going to win.
He knows how to win, bro. He don't know how to make weight, but he knows how to win.
And his only losses are to fucking Tyrone Woodley and Neil Magny. And both of those losses are split decision losses.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's an easy outing for anybody. So
yeah, bro, he's not a chump by any means. Like, that dude's here to scrap. That's why I said, like, if he wins, I won't be surprised.
for sure.
But I think I'm going to win.
For sure. I think we got Emalo coming on, right, to the podcast. Yep. I think he's calling. So let's see what Emalo's doing, and we'll see what happens. And we got a new person. Introduce yourself, new person.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Emalo Urrutia, a.k.a. the Honey Badger from the 305.
There, Miami, huh?
Miami, yeah.
Where exactly are you from, Miami? Where in Miami?
It's like called the Kendall area. Yeah, it's like pretty much it's called Miami, but it's I guess they have like little areas there, different towns. This one's called Kendall, like West Kendall area.
Is it like towards like the southern part, or what area is that?
Of Miami?
Yeah.
I would say probably like the central. I'm not too sure. Yeah, well, you got west, like probably west. Yeah, it's like West Kendall, or yeah, I'm not too sure honestly.
How far is that from South Beach?
Like 20 minutes from South Beach.
Okay,
yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like 15 minutes away from South Beach. That's pretty much like the city and everything like that. Like on a good day, you get there in 15 minutes. You know.
Did you used to go out to South Beach a lot?
Yeah, man, always. That's the only beach to go to. So the cool thing about South Beach is that you get all the tourists, but then all the regular people hang out in South Beach too because that's the beach, you know. So.
But the one cool thing about when I was there at South Beach, one thing cool about South Beach is topless.
Oh hell yeah, nudeless, yo.
Oh yeah,
all
some
day.
people, some
yeah,
people
on the regular. Oh yeah, that's normal. Yeah, dog, that's the best part about the Miami Beach. I've been seeing that shit since I was like 9 years old. It's the best. Yeah, man, that's common. I think Thailand, George, is Thailand nude topless? I never noticed.
I think topless on some of the beaches, like Kata Beach. You always see girls without their tops on, but it's white girls really into that.
I thought it was a norm, honestly.
Is it the Europeans that are more into it?
What's
Thailand,
that?
Probably for sure, right?
The Europeans.
Yeah.
So, Emalo, you are back in Thailand. Actually, you're back in Phuket. You've been out in Singapore for a while. How long were you in Singapore? I
was in Singapore for about 7 months. Yeah, I went just before my last fight, and then I went over there, did some teaching, and it was good. You know, I took a little break. I was in Thailand for about 2 years straight. you know, just constantly fighting and traveling, living off of the fight purses. So it was nice to go to Singapore, take a little breather, rest my body up, and then just do some teaching. It was the same training. Everything was the same. Just teaching instead of just training full time for a fight per se.
Where were you out there? Where
At
where exactly?
Juggernaut Fight Club. It's like it's one of the more it's an awesome gym over in Singapore. Like one of the few MMA gyms actually. So they have a lot of jiu-jitsu gyms over there. The scene's pretty big right now for Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But and then they have a few good schools for MMA as well. So I was just helping. I was helping my buddy teach MMA and jiu-jitsu, and pretty much everything. Yeah.
Didn't you
Sounds good.
fought for Singapore Fighting Championship while you're out there, right? For the belt.
Yeah. So that was the thing. I was in Thailand training, and I had just fought in Full Metal Dojo. Okay, and then Arvin hit me up. He messaged me about fighting in SFC. He's asking me like, "Yo, you want to do the main event?" And then and what's it called? And then he said, "If you want, afterwards you could stay and you can teach for a little bit again." Because I've been going back and forth for a few years there to Singapore. I haven't
And you
been
won
back
the
in a while.
you won the belt, correct?
I'm sorry.
You won the belt.
Oh yeah. It was the main event, and then it was for a title, for a bantamweight title. Yeah, so
Nice.
it was a 5-rounder. Ugh, it's terrible.
What happened to the belt? Like, what's going on with that?
I don't know. It's in my room or something. It's in my. Yeah, I have no idea. I guess.
How was life in Singapore though? Because I heard that Singapore is different from like most other, like I said, Asian countries.
I don't know. It's definitely different from Thailand. I've never lived in any other countries in Asia. Really, live. You know, I've seen and been to a bunch, but it's all right, man. It's pretty nice. It's pretty beautiful, actually. I don't mind Singapore at all. Yeah, it's good. It's a good time over there. It's nice. You talking about the city wise? Like, you're just talking about as a place in general?
Yeah, as a place in general.
Oh, it's dope. It's really expensive, but the local scene is all right. Like, it can be expensive, you know, if you want it to be. Drinking and stuff like that is pricey, and if you want to go out and if you go to like the more popular places, it's expensive. But they got a really good public transit system, so you can pretty much get anywhere with a bus or train, you know, relatively easy and pretty quick. Like you can get anywhere in Singapore in about 20 minutes.
What form of transportation did you use, Emalo? Please enlighten everyone.
Oh, you want to know, man? I take everything. I take the bus and the MRT, but for a while I had one of those little electric scooters. It was pretty badass. I was just scooting through the town. It was nice. It was really slow though, so it was kind of weird because you don't gotta walk, but I feel like I could have got off and ran faster, you know. So you're just sitting there like, you know.
You said it was electric?
Really small. So if you hit a little rock or something, you got to be careful. I've tipped over twice. One time I had a bunch of beers and I tipped over, had to do a shoulder roll, but the beers survived. So it was all right.
You saved the beers?
I saved the beers, yeah. My jiu-jitsu came into play. Jiu-jitsu saves lives.
So you said it was electric?
Yeah, it's like a little electric scooter. There's a bunch of them, you know, like now that's like the new thing over there. Everybody's got them. I haven't seen them in Thailand, but I don't think the streets are good enough.
So now you're back at Tiger. Why did you decide to go back?
Yeah, I was always knowing I was going to be training at Tiger. I've always been a part of Tiger. I've never trained for a fight outside of Tiger. So I was just waiting I was waiting for the opportunity for my fight to get announced and for me to know I got a fight. And then all along I was planning on going. So it just so happened that this fight got announced, and then Joe Ray was fighting in the main event. So I just did a pit stop in Bangkok first, but I already had known that I was going to be back with the boys. I had already talked to George, I think, previously too. I remember like a week or so before about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew as soon as I had a fight announced, I knew 100% I was going back. And teaching and stuff like that, it was great. I mean, it helps my skill set a lot. I feel like I got a lot better when I go and teach. But the game plan was always to be, if I need to teach, I'll go teach. But all my camps have always been at Tiger with George and Woody and Alex and Brad and all the whole crew, you know? So, yeah.
I've been hearing that you were going to be signed by One Championship, to be honest with you, for a few months.
Uh-huh.
I'm hearing rumblings, like around.
Oh, word?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I never met you before. This is the first time I've talked to you, but I've been
Yeah,
hearing
yeah.
rumblings from people like, oh yeah, there's a guy, in Singapore. He's supposed to be getting signed, and I was like, oh, for real? And then it never happened. And then
Oh, yeah,
all of
yeah,
a
yeah.
sudden it was announced. So I was kind of like, wow, it was like a few months ago when I first heard it. So what happened with that situation?
No, nothing happened. I signed, and then I was just waiting for a fight. Like, I didn't want to say nothing. Like, what's the point? You know what I mean? So I was just training, getting ready, and I had a few injuries also myself. So I wanted to make sure that when my first fight comes up, like, I'm 100% ready. I'm going to put the best camp forward, But honestly, I took a little bit of time. Number one, I didn't sign the contract for a while. I had it, and I kind of knew I was going to do it. But also, I was pretty banged up. So I needed for sure. I knew after my last fight, I knew for sure I didn't want to spar or really take any type of contact for a long time, for at least 2-3 months. So I had to. This was about the timeline I was expecting to fight anyway. So it kind of all worked out perfect. Hopefully I can sneak another one in by the end of this year, and that'll be all right. I've been pretty active the last 2 years, so I don't mind now. Finally making it to the big show, fighting 2-3, 3 times a year would be 4 times. I don't mind it now. Especially after the last 2 years,
I see that you've been jumping back and forth from featherweight to bantamweight. Your last fight was at bantamweight. So
Yeah.
what weight division is more comfortable for you? Or is it because of the weight cutting thing that you're fighting at featherweight in your next fight?
Nah, yo. It's just because I'll take any fight they have, I try to stay busy, honestly, If they want me to fight at featherweight, I'll take the fight at featherweight. If there's good fights at bantamweight, I take the fights at bantamweight. For my career, that's just how it's happened, how it's turned out to happen. I've had a lot of fights on short notice. So actually, I think all my fights on featherweight have all been short notice. Like, and when I mean short notice, I'm talking like 3 weeks tops. That would like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Me and George fought on China. What was that? That was featherweight, but that was what, 2 weeks? What was that, George? Like 10 days? I had fought.
Yeah, it was like 10 days, 8 days.
Yeah, I remember I had just fought, and then I got offered another fight, and it was like at 68 kilograms or something. So that's the main reason why,
Yeah, your opponent, his name, Edward Kelly, right?
Yes.
This guy,
Yes,
he's been fighting for one championship for a while, since like 2013, and he's fought some of the top guys in that division, right? The featherweight division.
Awesome.
So it's kind of, to be honest with you, as your first fight for the promotion, to fight a guy that has been, in there with some of the top guys, how does that feel? Like, do you feel that they have a lot of confidence in you, like one championship, or?
Hey, yo, honestly, I love it, I didn't come to ONE FC to fight a bunch of jabronis, you know what I'm saying? So if I want to be in there, I want to go in there toe-to-toe with the best in the world, just like I do every day at the gym. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, I find it, I take it as a thing of confidence, like, fuck yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the level that I'm at, I've earned my spot to be here, and I can't wait to show it, man, honestly, So there, like, I knew when I signed that contract, there was nobody I was not going to not fight. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way it was going to be. I kind of knew that going in. I was like, yo, it's probably going to, whoever it is, there's not going to, like, I came in here knowing that this is I signed here, and I'm expecting to fight those guys, So I kind of knew it since I signed the contract, like, there's nobody like I'm the bad matchup. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, they should be worried, not me, Like, that's all I got to think, right?
So it's kind of like, you're kind of saying like that fighting Kelly is actually better for you right off the bat, instead of fighting some lame, like not lame, but some like a lower tier fighter. Then you could jump up quicker.
Yeah, honestly, and I'm actually flattered that they would give me this fight, to be honest. You know
Hey,
what I
we're
mean?
putting you on the map right away, bro. I said we're putting you on the map right away.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, they're making it a whole lot easier for me, if you ask me. So yeah, I do take it as confidence. I'm actually proud that they would give me a fight. I think this is a great fight. It's a great matchup. We got the same record. I think I have one more loss than him. You know, we have the same amount of fights, and I was supposed to fight him like 3-4 years ago. You know, I was supposed to fight him when he was 5-1, and I was 1-0, and I took the fight with him. So yeah, it's about time this fight happens. You know.
What happened with that fight?
I don't know. It was in Full Metal Dojo for Full Metal Dojo 1. Yeah, it was, who knows? You know, I'm not gonna say it's not like it was probably for no money. You know, why is he? You know, yeah, probably didn't have much incentive to take that fight. But we tried to make that match happen. I don't know for whatever reason. He probably got signed to 1 because I think he fought for 1 right after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at his fights, he's kind of like a all or nothing type of fighter. Like he's going in there, either he finishes or he gets finished. So do you think
be or not to be?
Yeah, exactly. What was Yamasaki? What did he say? Yamasaki? He says that if he dies, he dies, right?
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
that's like that's like his
Where's that from? Where's that from?
From the
Mario
ref,
Yamasaki.
the UFC ref. If he dies, he dies. It's a meme, right?
Oh, you're talking about from the movie though, right?
No. From the UFC ref. It was a meme going around, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
He let it go too long, and people were like putting memes out, and it was of Mario Yamasaki, and it was just like, if he dies, he dies.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Well,
nice.
your opponent is kind of like that style where he just goes in and he's just going for the kill, and if he doesn't go for the kill, he gets killed. So, how do you approach a guy like that?
I don't know, honestly. I mean, I'm gonna do the same thing I've always done. You know, like I'm gonna walk to the center like I always do. You know, I'm gonna throw punches. I'm gonna try and take his ass down, and I'm gonna keep throwing punches and kicks and takedowns and jiu-jitsu. And you know, like I've never taken a step backwards in my entire career, so it's not gonna start now. You know what I mean? So it should be fun, honestly. I think this is gonna be this is a pretty gangster fight. I'm excited for it. Yeah, for real.
You also said that, most of the fights that you've taken, it's all on kind of short notice. And you didn't have much.
It's been a lot, yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, but
right?
a lot. I want to interject on this right now because someone said something recently in one of our group chats about having like a corner or something like that. And Emalo took it upon himself. He's like, yo, you know how many times I've been to China and I fought without a corner? He's like, I don't give a shit. And was just like saying like, it's like a testament to him because he has gone to China. He has fought without a corner. He's gone to China when we've gone together and fought without corners. We've gone together, or he's gone by himself and fought without a corner. So like, he's well versed in that kind of stuff. So it's, it's just kind of funny. Like that person said that. And then like Emalo's reaction, it was like typical Emalo, if you know him.
Yeah. Like, you were saying that, a lot of the fights that you've taken, they're kind of short notice, not all of them. But now that you had some time and this guy that you're fighting next, there's a lot of footage of him, right? A lot of footage.
Yeah.
When you have a short notice fight, there's not much footage and the guys you're fighting there's not much tape of them. So is it better for you that you have a lot more tape on this guy and you can kind of like analyze him, or is it better for you to just be like go in there and just be like, fuck it, let me just throw my hands at him?
I mean, I'm not stupid like that where I'm just gonna be like, fuck it, I'm gonna throw hands. But I don't know, that's a tough call. I think it works both ways. It's kind of even because I like that. Yeah, it's true. Sometimes you can go in there and then you don't know who the hell you're fighting. You just go in there, you do your best. Whether you might smash the guy. I have no idea, and you're like, man, it's kick his ass. You're done. And next thing we know, after you find out, you'll be like, what? This guy was, or I had no idea about something. Whereas to maybe you fight that same guy, but then somebody tells you before, or you're watching footage and you're all worried about him, and you're thinking about what he's gonna do. And the next thing you know, you go in there, and then it's like you're already thinking about, like, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's kind of nice not to know. It's like when you're training with somebody, if some guy comes in and you don't know who he is, you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's just like training, you train all the time. Some random guy comes in, you guys go to war, you have a great training session, you have no idea who he is, whereas to maybe if you knew who he was, it might have affected the way you trained or vice versa. Maybe you were trying so hard, you were scared to lose to him because you think you're supposed to beat him, or if you lose to him because you think he's supposed to beat you because he's a higher belt ranking or something stupid like that,
For sure. if you could characterize yourself, right? Would you consider yourself a submission specialist? Because a lot of your wins that you have are by submission. So, do you think so?
Uh, I would say, I mean, yeah, hell yeah. Look, my goal is to be to be known. I want to be like the Demian Maia of Asian MMA, you know? I want to be the Demian Maia of my division. So, yeah, that's my goal. And eventually that's my goal, you know? I want everybody, I'll keep it real simple, you know? Like, when you fight me, you better be ready you better be ready to defend the submissions. I'm going to go, you know, that's my game. You know, I'm not going to change what got me to the dance, you know? So, that's always going to be my game. Yeah, for sure. But, you know, I got some decisions too, so whatever, you know.
Yeah, everybody got decisions. So
yeah, whatever it takes to win, you know. Like I'll take whatever they give me. But for when it comes to finishes, yeah, I've been the submissions is gonna always be where I feel like my strongest, you know. Yeah.
well, the Demian Maia of Asia is not a bad title to have.
Yeah, you know, like that's what I want to do. You know, yeah, that would be my goal is to submit everybody. You know, finish all my opponents, get in and get out, and go to the after party with my friends.
Yeah, one championship, man. They have a stacked featherweight division now, and there's a lot of guys to fight. You know, of course you're gonna fight Kelly, but do you see other guys in the division like, hey, this guy, I would like to fight him next, or I wouldn't mind even just fighting him, right now. Is there other guys in your crosshairs?
Honestly, this is the only thing with I don't know what weight class I'm gonna be in, to tell you the truth. This is my first fight. I don't know what this hydration test is, and I don't know I've made featherweight pretty easily. You know, I can go to sleep tonight, jump in the sauna, or go for a run and probably make featherweight without eating for a day. You know, just losing weight normally. So I don't know what it'll be like to do it twice. I'm gonna see. So now I'm fighting at featherweight, and I'm gonna test it out. You know, so I have a 70 kilogram allowance. So I'll be good here. Honestly, So if I feel good here, let's see what happens. You know, if I feel good here, I might stay, but I might feel the same at 66. I'll know after the fight because now my weight class would be 66 to 70.3 kilograms, and I'm about like 69 right now. So,
can you break down the one championship, the weight cut thing? Like, not even a weight cut thing. It's like a weight management thing. Can you break it down to, like, for somebody that's stupid like me?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about. There's nothing really to break down. It's just that normal, or you know how it works normally. Normally, you fight. You fight at a weight. You got however much time to make that weight. You weigh in 24 hours before the fight, and then after that, you can cut as much weight as you want. Basically, you know, you can do. You know, as long as you get on the scale and the numbers right, you're good to go. Now, the only difference I see here is I'm pretty sure is that you got to weigh in twice. So I have to weigh in on Wednesday, and I also have to weigh in on Thursday.
And you have to be hydrated, right?
Yes, and I have to pass a hydration test twice. So there you go. Boom. That's the catch right there. Like I can't just cut weight twice. If I'm dehydrated, it's like missing weight. You know, you definitely don't want to do that. I think it's really bad if you do that. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to know.
Yeah, especially the first fight.
I would never do that. So I don't know. You know, like I'm fighting. I could eat a pizza and jump on the scale. You know, so
for sure.
For this,
let's talk about some other MMA stuff. You know, like
yeah, man. I want to talk about my fight.
Yeah, we talked about it. A lot about your fight, and we'll probably have you on again. Talk about more about what you're doing. But let's talk about Conor McGregor, Mayweather.
Conor, all right, what's up?
I want to know what you think about that.
He's a genius. I mean, what else can you say, right? He's really smart.
You can't knock his hustle. That is for sure, bro.
Yeah, like I mean, shit, I'll do it too. Yeah, you want to pay me? Yeah, I'll fight Floyd Mayweather for $100,000. You know. So
yeah, it's ridiculous.
That he's gonna get paid what he's gonna get paid. The coolest thing I like about it, honestly, I know it's like a kind of like a show and stuff like that, but I just love how you're hearing somebody talk to Mayweather, how most normal people would feel like, man, shut the fuck up, you know. So they're just, I kind of like how he just trolls them, you know. But I think the fight's gonna be bad, you know. I think it's gonna be really bad. Like I don't know. yeah, there's no puncher's chance. There's no like that shit. I don't even want to hear it, honestly. So this fight is not. It's not. I don't. It's not going to be a contest whatsoever. Like I'm pretty sure Mayweather could finish him in the first round if he wanted, but I don't think he's going to do that because it's all the money and stuff. But I really think he could just chill. I don't know. The only thing I could see him knocking him out in the first round, Mayweather knocking out McGregor. I could see Mayweather chilling for a couple rounds and then knocking him out. Or I could see Conor getting gassed. Like you've never seen him gassed. Like you've never seen a professional boxer gas in their entire life and then get knocked out. But I feel like that's what's going to happen. But no matter what, it's going to be, TKO, KO, whatever you want to call it.
What do you think, George?
Is that fucked up to say?
Nah, hell no.
No, not at all, bro. It's the
Like,
truth. I shared
yo.
this thing. I shared a thing on Facebook the other day, and it was from like all the very influential people in the boxing community, and it was just like, it just shows like it's like them all like giving their their spiel on the fight, and it's all just like really. I mean, like let's be honest. Think about how many people that Mayweather has beaten that are not only great boxers but southpaws and very hard punchers, because everyone look, man, I used to hate on McGregor, but I respect his hustle. Like the dude's always said what he's going to do. He's got a mean left hand, and like he says, if he touches you on the dome, like you can go down, and it's possible. But with Mayweather, man, he's just like, look, boxing is different than MMA. The distance is different. The level is different. The movements are different. Everything's different. It's just like saying like the best Muay Thai fighter is gonna at Sanchaz's weight is gonna come beat Sanchaz. Like, get the fuck out of here. Stop. Like, of course, if fucking Floyd like fell asleep for a second and like Conor like somehow knocked him out, which I don't see that happening by any means. Of course, everyone always says you have a puncher's chance, and you do. But in my opinion, Floyd is just gonna it's gonna be easy, as he likes to say, it's gonna be easy work, and it will be. I mean, there's just think about all the great fighters that he's already fought and beaten. It's ridiculous to even think that he has a chance. But you know what? Props to Conor, bro, because that dude is a true believer. He is he always talks about like self-belief and how strong it is. And it's true, man. Like you can't knock that guy, and you can't knock him because he's fucking getting paid. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's just like, and it shows how, in my opinion, it shows how uneducated MMA fans are. Like, it's just ridiculousness. Like,
uneducated, you said? I didn't hear that last part. Uneducated.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I said it shows how uneducated MMA fans, even like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, before Conor was fighting for titles and stuff, just him training, people would be like, oh, talking about his training and this and that. Like, no, like it's the same training every other guy does. Maybe a few things different here and there, but like you can take the Adu Portal guy and maybe it helped with his mobility, but it's not making him some Gucci fucking fighter. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like MMA fans really, really like annoy me sometimes with the things that they say and they come up with, and it's just ridiculous. But you know what? MMA is exciting, and you know what? It sells and it makes people like and dislike different people, and it's a business. So I understand, but it's just frustrating sometimes to be a part of MMA. Sorry.
Yeah, it's to me, it's a money grab. Like, they know they're gonna make a gang of money. They know they like each other. They know they're looking in the mirror when they talk to each other. They're looking in the mirror.
They're like, hey, we're gonna scrap, but we getting paid.
Exactly. That's what's happening. Did you see they got off the same private jet?
Yeah, I saw
they
that.
got off of the same private jet together.
Yeah, they were probably in the jet, like talking shit to each other, like cracking jokes. Like, I mean, it's like, just imagine like fighting somebody. Like, even like when I fight, like I'm still respectful of my opponents. Like beforehand, of course, I'm not chatting up with them because it's like a day or two in advance, But like, if like, let's say for some reason I had to fight like not like a friend, but some guy that I had trained with before. Like, let's say there was a guy at Tiger that I trained with maybe like 6 months ago or a year ago. It's the first time I met him, but we had a good crack. You know, we hung out some while we were there or while he was training. And then I had to fight the guy. Of course, like I'd be like, hey, what's up, brother? How are you? Like shake hands, dap each other up. But it's just business. It's like, you know, you're just fighting. And then after that, like it is what it is. So they were probably hanging out in the plane. Like Conor was probably like, yeah, just chilling. They were like chatting shit to each other. Like, come on.
They were probably looking at the Rob report, talking about like which island you're gonna buy and shit. Like, you know.
Yeah, bro.
Like
Conor was probably getting some tips from Floyd. Like he was giving him shit about the IRS and stuff. But like, come on, bro. Floyd's set. Like he's not an idiot. Especially, what's his manager's name? The CEO of Mayweather or Money Mayweather, whatever his promotion is.
I don't know.
The white guy that was announced
with the sunglasses.
Yeah, like he's jiggy as hell. Like he's always dressed fly. But like that guy's a smart dude. Like, man, ain't no way Conor's like having like financial troubles. Get out of here.
Nah, but yo, I can't believe he got this fight. This is like genius, you know? I just like the way he just tells everybody to fuck off, you know? It's pretty funny.
And he's going to go back to the UFC, make even more money because he's going to be a way bigger star.
Right. His stock has risen so much.
Yeah, no. Do you want to fight? Is he going to want to fight after he makes all that money? Like, what is he going to do? I guess you got to fight. He's so young, right? He's got to want to.
I think that the company got him on contract, so he does have to fight. Or you never know. Conor might just say, hey, I'm not even going to fight anymore. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And just chill.
He retires.
Yeah.
I don't think he will. I think there'll be like something where, I don't know. I think he'll fight again, bro. But like, think about if he comes back and he fights Diaz. Yo, that's the money fight. And then they'll hype it up and be like, Diaz was like boxing him up and this and that. Like, it's just like bro, like he said in I think it was the last press conference or the one before that, he was talking about options, or maybe it was in the post thing, like the post press conference thing I watched. But he was talking about options. But he's right, man. He's the one with all the options. Like obviously it's Floyd. Like Floyd's going to do what he wants, and everybody knows he's the best. But for MMA, Conor does what he wants. Like even before when he's like said shit and Dana White's like, whatever. They still do what Conor says. Because, bro, he brings money to the table. It's just like in college before, my coach used to like have more leniency for some guys because they used to win. Like the guys that were winning, if we were winning, he didn't say shit to us. Like if we were going out or, you know, getting in trouble or something happened, there was always more leniency for the people who were putting up the numbers. It's the same thing in that, especially in the business world.
Yeah, that's all fighting is. It's all numbers, you know? It's not about, you know, it's not, that's all the game is, right? It's just about marketing, who can make the most money for the promoter. You know, the promoter's going to love whoever can make him the most money. So that's got to be.
Just like Conor said, him and
Dana. Goal as the promoter, you're going to be all right, you know? But you got to find that niche. It's hard. It's hard, you know, as a fighter, right? Though that's the thing. And Conor found it. He found it with the country. He found it with a lot of things. But he found that little niche and he ran with it, you know, and it's a gold mine. It's beautiful. So.
Even with like GSP still hanging around, that's a fight too that he could take.
Yeah, he's got, like he said that, I don't remember where I saw that, but he was talking about his options. He was like the GSP thing. He was like, and he was like talking shit. He was like, you know, he's talking and whining about he didn't get enough money or whatever, and was just like ripping into him. And he was like, I'm the money fight for everybody.
That's true.
Well, yo, he better go down early then, because he might, if he's too tough for his own good and his chin is that good and he can take a shellacking for 12 rounds, he might never be the same, yo.
That's true too.
Hey, because he was talking shit.
That's the thing that these fucking, like, look, I love Conor McGregor, right? And in a real fight, I agree with him. It would be a 5-second fight, you know? He can murk Mayweather in real life. But in this boxing game, in this boxing match that they're having, it's like a jiu-jitsu tournament, a wrestling match. Man, Conor can take a lot of damage really quick. And, he might, I don't know, man. That's another thing I like to see, though. When he fights, how he's going to look when he fights MMA again. If you take a shellac for more than 6 rounds, straight shots to the head.
he was giving Diaz shit, saying his face droops to the left.
Yeah, well, I think Mayweather make your face droop a lot more to the left, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
And
Yeah.
I don't like it's crazy. He's not even. I don't even think he's gonna touch him, yo. Like it's gonna be bad.
Emalo, what about another fight? Big fight coming up. John Jones, Daniel Cormier. Who you got on that one?
I think that's an easy fight too, yo. John Jones all day.
Damn, what do you think, George?
You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna go with DC, bro. I'm gonna bet emotionally because I want him to win.
Yeah, of course.
But in his defense, like if not his defense, but I think if Jones comes out like he fought OSP, DC is gonna give it to him. But again, John Jones is John Jones, like. But he better come out with his A game because I think DC's he's good. DC is good, and it went the whole 5 rounds before. Like Jones doesn't go the distance usually, So DC's got power, he's got good striking, he's got good wrestling. John Jones has been out a long time as well. Like he's had a lot of issues, So it'll be interesting to see, man. But I hope DC pulls through and wins.
I think it'll be more closer than I thought the first one was,
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Yeah, I think John Jones, like, he's the GOAT. I think he fights to his level too. In my personal opinion. I think if you ever notice, like, if you get, like, that's why I think John Jones is the greatest champion ever of all time, because he always rises to the occasion no matter what. Like, you got, like, man, not only is he ultra talented, but he's got the heart of, like, maybe one of the best champions we've ever seen. Like, that guy let his arm break, So it's like, how, like, even if you, I don't know, I feel like he always rises to the level. Like, yo, he smashed Gustafsson all doing blow all weekend long. You know what I'm saying? It's just because his heart, like, he just knew he had to do it for that, And I feel like he can always do that. I don't know. I think that's what makes him the GOAT, though, for my personal
I agree with that.
I'm not going to go against John Jones. But I do love DC. DC's a beast. He's like an ideal.
I think DC will retire if he loses.
Yeah, those are the 2 greatest, man, light heavyweights ever. You cannot deny that.
Yeah.
Forgot about DC as a heavyweight. DC could be one of the greatest heavyweights of all time.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
Or maybe he moves. If he loses, maybe he moves back up. But like, hopefully he doesn't lose. But
maybe he fights. He moves up and works himself up and fights Stipe or something.
Yeah. Look, I'm not. Yeah. But I think that's a great match.
What do you mean works his way up? He goes up. I guarantee he gets an immediate title shot. I bet if he went up.
Yeah. But yo, listen, I'm not saying I don't want DC to win. Like, if DC wins, don't be calling me like a switch just because I got like a DC shirt and I'm like saying, hell yeah, I would love to see him win. If you're just asking me personally, like, I'm not a big
you're
fan.
betting smart.
I would like John Jones if he was more real. Like, I feel like if he played the part that he is, I'll be like, yeah, I'm a fan of him now.
All right, man. Well, it was good talking to you, man, and we're gonna definitely have you on again. Maybe before you fight in August. You can't hear us?
I am.